Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hey everyone, Simon here. It's evening time, so I got my camera off, but I trust you guys can hear me okay. Let's share my screen and talk about a couple of things. The first of which is, well, let me do point number 2 first. Now let's do point number 1. Let's jump right into the heart of the matter. So I follow crypto Twitter, and a couple days ago, March 14th, for people in the Western world, March 15th, it was here. I was reading Bitcoin's about 38,000, and it was really 50-50 between people asking, will it capitulate or will it break up? So it was a very simple question. Will this break up or will it break down? And I decided to do a prashna on it. Now, I've mentioned before that Rahu and Ketu and Taurus and Scorpio are kind of like neutralizing some of sensitive points in my own chart, which, as my teachers have told me, kind of makes your predictions go wonky. And that's been the case. I won't lie. Predictions have been a little, not a little, but they've been off for the last few months. Not all of them, but enough to where it's, I'm not comfortable giving them, because I know there's a lot on the line. So even with this knowledge and knowing that Rahu and Ketu are still in on the Taurus axis, but Taurus Scorpio axis, still cognizant of this, I did a prashna, and I'm sharing it here for everyone to see if this actually works out. And the prashna was, will it capitulate or go up? Now, those of you who are familiar with the Gambler's Dharma methods, this is the system I applied. I used the first house to judge the first option, and which seems to be like the prevailing option. People more, it wasn't in fact 50-50, it was more like 65-35 weighted against, more people think it's going to capitulate, basically. It's going down to 20K or something like that. And so that's the way I phrased the question, with the favorite response here in the beginning and the underdog in the 7th house. And those of you who know the methods will see immediately that there is a stack of malefics here, which is good for the underdog position, and basically none for the favorite. So that right away starts out very well for the second option, that it will go up. Moving to the Navamsha, we see Sun and Ketu specifically right on the ascendant. That's massively unfavorable for the first option. And if we look at other things, including the KP, it kind of confirms it. So this is about as clear as a chart can get. Now, if these were two teams, I'd put 10,000 bucks on this team. That's how confident I am. Now, let's see let's see what happens. So this is on March 15th Bali time. Bitcoin's 38K. As I make this, now I've been kind of shy to put this out there and kind of lazy, but Bitcoin's starting to trend up a little bit. It's a 40K, but it's not yet doing what this chart potentially says it might do. So my question was, will Bitcoin go from 38K and just fall to under, like in my mind, will it fall to 29, 28, 27? This is an emphatic no, right? This means no. This means, in fact, it'll start to go up and probably go up bullishly. All right, so, and yes, I'm doing the compatibility of David Gilmour and Polly Sampson, and that's another story. That's yet another movie. Yeah, so, but this prashna aside, main thing to take away from this is, even if I'm wrong about this prashna, which it would be heartbreaking because it's a very clear prashna, They rarely come this clear. But even if I'm wrong about this one, I'm, regardless of my own prashnas and astrology work, I really think May is going to be like late April, last week or two of April through May, and I'm very bullish on this period. I mean, not because of any prashnas, but because of what's happening in Bitcoin's chart, but also because of what's happening in Michael Saylor's chart. Now, again, I've did a shout out to Crypto Damas for bringing that up. And we have our own way of looking at Michael Saylor's chart through the Vedic astrology lens, but a lot of the things dovetail with the traditional tropical astrology. Namely that he's been having bad transits, but in May, the transits pretty much all turn positive with Jupiter entering his second house, and a whole host of other factors, which I'm not going to go into here. His part of fortune actually is right on Bitcoin's moon. His part of fortune is at 13 degrees here. So when Jupiter transits Bitcoin's moon, it'll also transit Michael Saylor's part of fortune. And Uranus will be creating some trines. There's a lot of cool stuff. I was looking at it earlier. Oh, and his yogi point is also at 20 Pisces. Right, so Jupiter transiting this as a duplicate yogi, as a second lord in the second, is going to be super massive bullish for him. Basically starting late April, May, all the way through the end of Q2. So that's April, May, June, right? And onwards. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin. And if you don't believe my prashnas, or believe Michael Saylor, I do think this May is late April and May, we're just breaking out. So I know we're still in March. So my prashna was, are we going to capitulate in March? The answer is a pretty clear no. In fact, quite the opposite. So let's see. Hopefully, at the very least, that we don't capitulate, right? Go down into the 20s. So that's the first order of business. I thought I'd share that with everyone. And again, Rahu is going to be leaving Taurus, and Ketu will be leaving Scorpio in a few days, literally in a day now. Today is the 16th as I'm making this. So I am super excited about that, to get back into doing some good astrology and hopefully have some great insights for you guys. Now, number 2 on the list here is Thursdays with Vince continues. Same time, same bat channel. Vince is going to be answering your questions this Thursday at noon. Gotta confirm the time since there's been a daylight savings time change, but I will send that out to everyone as soon as possible. So just keep your Thursdays open, but of course we'll have the class recording as well. And finally, a couple of things. And in fact, I'm going to add one more thing, which is New Deal. Yeah, so Discord pledging. We just had a recent raise for a project called Seat Lab. And we had a few people pledge who weren't able to actually fulfill the pledge. Now, I mean, this has happened to me, believe me. You make the pledge, you kind of forget about it, and then the window opens for 48 hours, and you might be like, I travel, right? So I sometimes I don't have internet. So I know it happens. But please, please, please try to, if you're going to pledge a small amount that it's not going to, even if the market's down, it's not going to kill you to pledge it, and try to kind of be aware of when it's going live so that you can fulfill your pledge. Because what happens is other people have to actually fill the spot that you reserved and weren't able to fill. So no you know, no shaming or anything here, just kind of giving you the 411 on how it works. So if you make a pledge and you're not able to fulfill it, other people have to step up to try to fill that spot, and kind of at the last minute, so it's not always comfortable. So please, guys, if you're going to make a pledge, do your best to fulfill it. And yeah, and I look forward to seeing how Seat Lab works out. Seat Lab, if you don't know, it's in a Discord, in one of our Discord elite deals. And that brings me to another point, which is, guys, even if Bitcoin doesn't do what we want it to do, even if the prashnas are not right, there are still ways to profit and benefit from this market. And my goal is to try to bring you as many of those as I can. And so the Seat Lab was one of them, but there is a new deal that we're working on, which is potentially huge and which probably won't require any minimum amount. So if you want to put in $50, you can put in $50. And I'm not going to say a lot about it. What I will say is the people who did this deal, who are coming out with this token, their previous token, if you invested $200 a year ago, you would now have $100,000. That's just a fact. It's not a exaggeration. It's not, you know, if you held. Now, if you actually sold at the high, because this token is not at its height right now, you would have had a lot more, actually. But from then to now, your $200 is now worth 100,000. So my point is, now I'm not saying this next deal is going to perform the same way. Nobody knows. We don't know. But it is a meme coin, and it is a meme coin into which you guys will be able to get in basically before anybody else. So if you're not excited about that, I don't know. So I'll have details coming up on that in a couple of days. So get your $10, $20, $50, whatever you want to put in ready. Again, meme coins are very high risk. You know, just basically expect to lose that money with a shot at, you know, having it moon. And if it does moon and you hold on to it, you know, and you sell at the right time, it could be something special. So that's all I'm going to say for that right now. And I'll have details for you in the next few days. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'll be back stateside in April. I do think first couple of weeks of April are still bearish. There's some weird stuff going on. Let's see. Yeah, so well, this didn't happen, so this is an X. We'll kind of keep track of these here. Volatile May, I'm being conservative here. I think May is bullish. I'm going to change this to volatile. Let me just change this to bullish. Bullish. I mean, got to go for it. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, and I think I had it somewhere here, but okay, maybe I didn't. First couple weeks of April, I think we're down, and then last couple weeks of April, particularly towards the end of April, I think we're on our way up. So, in fact, I can bold this, and May looks bullish. Market recovery, all-time highs, I think, and so forth. So, all right, guys, that's it out of me. Let's hope Michael Saylor and Bitcoin are correct in that their charts are correct, rather, and we should know here within a couple of months. So your patience will have been rewarded, and in the meantime, I'll keep finding new deals, and so we can all exit this boat a fair bit wealthier, or at least wiser than we entered. All right, that's it for me. We'll see you in the next one. Namaste, everyone.